Beautiful friends, it's Melissa with MJ Heritage Company. Today we are going to do I'm going to show you guys how I bind these little golden books, any book really, for journaling. And so what you're going to need is the book, your cut signatures, some kind of book that has an opening that you can, has a gully that you can like push down into, okay, and piercing something. I'm using an awl. I have a template for myself. I'll show you that. You need something to thread it with, and then a binding needle. So those are the things that you need, and probably some scissors to cut the thread. All right, let me just talk real quick. In my last video, I showed you how to keep this spine intact, and so I did that in the last video, and how to take out the pages and dismember the book to be reused and recycled and reloved. So after that video, I did glue a piece of ribbon down in the middle, so that covers the kind of ugly reinforcement that I had glued here in the last video. I mean, it's white, I guess it's not ugly. Now, a couple of things to think about. When you're making your signatures, you want them to fit inside of your book, right? Now, the reason that they wouldn't is because this was part of the cover last time, before we dismantled this book. And so it now has taken a good ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch off of the cover. So the pages will fit more like this one. Okay. So I go through the book and I match up the cover that I have here on the signature. And I look and I look at where the printing is. Now, if I cut some of the picture off, I'm not too crazy, I don't mind it as much. But I really don't want to cut the words off. Like, see, she's just a little shaved there. That doesn't bother me too much. But I really want to make sure I'm not cutting words off. So like here, the words are all on. There, they're on. Okay, so what do you do if it's going to cut the words off? So this one I trimmed down to fit perfectly inside the cover. This one, on the other hand, did not work that way because the words came over way too far on some of the pages. And like the title on this page, right? You could see where I would cut it, and that is not going to work. So what I do for this is I add in a ruffle. Let me grab one that I have done already. Here we go. I add in a ruffle instead of cutting the pages. So I just put this on the front cover and the back cover to make up that space so you don't see the pages. Okay, I don't prefer this. I mean, I think it looks cute and it's good. And some people prefer this. Some people prefer this. So either way, I just want to make sure my spine is intact. So having said all that, let's get going. Oh, you will also need some binder clips. All right, so I'm going to set the cover aside for a second, and I need 4 binder clips for each signature to hold them in place while I make the holes. So this is kind of how I do it. I find the middle and I push, I make sure it's all even at the top, and then I push in as far as I can to make sure that it's all in. It's all in here as much as it can be. Squished together. Let me get this one. And then I used to just do 2, but I found that it makes it a little bit more hard to get the sewing in a perfect place. All right, now I have created for myself a template that I use. This one is for little golden books because I do a lot of these journals. It's really not hard to make a template. So you can use whatever width of paper you want. You just want the top and the bottom to be to the top and the bottom here. You fold it in half, and that's going to be your center line that you use in here. Okay, and then you fold it in half again. That gives you the middle. And then I fold it down like, I don't know, what is that, like a couple inches, 1.5 inch, and that's your top. Okay, so now I have the 3 holes down the center that I will be using for this one. And I also labeled the top. So the other holes are going to be for when I sew the signature into the cover. And they're approximately 1/2 inch or so away from the center, so that as you add things to each signature, it allows it to have room to grow, because it'll become more bulky. So then I line it up like this, and then I have those holes ready to go. Okay, so that's kind of how I made this little template for myself. So let's get going on this. I'm going to center it. This template is just a hair, like a 1/16 of an inch shorter than the 8 inches. I always start in the middle and I fold. Actually, I'm going to do it in this. It's much easier. Here we go. I'm going to do more of a gully. So anyway, like I was saying, this one is a little bit shorter because some of the golden books are right on at 8 inches, and some are like a 1/16 of an inch short. You just want to make sure those holes come out the spine, and those look pretty good. I don't know if you can see them. And then I'm going to do this one, same thing. So I'm going to set that one aside. I'm going to make sure they're all even. And I'm going to pinch this really, really good here at the top. I'm going to do this one. Give me that. All right, and I kind of push them away a little bit so that I can have space for my template to kind of lay there. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to put this top over here, line this up, grab my awl, start with the middle. And it's just punching down into that gully, so it is going all the way through. Let me moved it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then we check, and there's the 3 holes. Perfect. So I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to grab my book cover, and I'm going to line this up here. I've got the top going to the top, and I'm going to center it from top to bottom. There's a little space there. Okay. I'm going to line it up. So I'm not doing the middle because I just did that for the signature. So I'm doing the first side, and then maybe I'm not in the middle of the book. There. And then I'm going to do the second side. And push it down. All right, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger just so I can see them from the other side with the needle, because I kind of punched a little small. All right, perfect. There we go. We've got our holes on this side. I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to take my thread. Now for each signature, each one of these signatures, you're going to want 3 times its height. So I've got 3. I'm going to do another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I'm going to figure out which one is the first one that has the title on it, making sure it matches because I'm doing 6 of them, so I don't want to get the wrong one. And it's facing up, which is the right direction. So let me load my needle. I use a bookbinding needle. It has a very wide eye, which is nice when it comes to threading this needle. Okay, I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and you start this by going out the middle. Okay, so, and I always leave a decent tail to tie it off at the end. So I go out the middle and out the cover middle. And then I'm going to go up back through the top, and I'm going again in the first row because I'm doing the first signature here. And then I'm going to go here in this top. Sorry, I have to look. There we go. And then I'm going to skip this and go back out the bottom. And then I'm going to go back up through the middle again. So I'm going out the bottom. Then I'm going to go back up through the middle. Now this is an important thing. You want to make sure that the string is off to one side and the needle goes up through the hole on the other side. So I'm going to flip this over so I can see a little better. Because if you pierce this thread with the needle, it makes it very difficult to tighten everything. And so you're going to do it the same way on the booklet part, on the signature. You don't want to pierce that, whoops, you don't want to pierce that thread. There we go. Okay, pull my needle off, and now we're going to tighten everything. Okay, actually I'm going to check out here, make sure these are not loose. I'm going to actually pull it tight this way. And now check, that feels snug, and that is snug. Okay, so I like to have one on both sides of the thread when I tie it, so I'm tying the knot over the middle string. Just a little detail that I like. I do 3 knots, and then I do an S knot, and then I do a bow. So here is an S knot that goes under the thread, back through. Okay, then this one goes the opposite direction, under the thread. Okay, and then you go back through. Okay, and then I like the S thread because it ties the knots on the center on the string, not necessarily on top, so it's not piling up. Okay, so you've got the S knot, and then I tie a small bow. Whoever purchases this journal can undo that if they want. It's not a huge deal, but I tie a small bow and then I clip. I'm going to clip them both together. Okay, so there's one signature. Then I pull these off. And I just kind of, snug it up, stretch it a little, and then we're going to do the second one. So I want to make sure it's facing the right direction. That's the top of the book. It's facing the right direction. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, repeat the process. Not too hard. I mean, it's pretty simple, and after you do a certain amount of them, it just becomes much easier every time. All right, so I'm going to make sure to leave my tail there, and I'm going to pick up both and keep this in my front hand to help keep everything in order. All right, so I'm going down the middle, back up the top, and then I'm going to go up this top. Okay, and then I'm going to go down the bottom. and down this bottom, and then we're going to go up the middle, making sure we're to one side. I have done it on both sides. I don't know that it really matters. I just kind of pull it there and then kind of head down, and that one worked out well. And then this one, I just kind of pull it over and kind of go. Just want to make sure I make it through all the layers. There we go, perfect. All right, and these landed on both sides of that string. Let me make sure this is, I'm going to pull a little tighter. Okay, so then we're going to do our 3 knots, our S knot. Again, it goes under this way. Okay, and then through. My brain stopped for a hot second there. And then this one goes, come back, where'd it go? Let's see, this way. And back through. And then I kind of tighten it as I get closer to the knot. And then I just kind of switch them and pull. Boom. Done. Tie my little bow. Tie my little bow. All right. I'm going to double that and trim. All right, so that is putting in 2 signatures. Let me go ahead and pull these off. Okay, and then I always fold it. Make sure it looks good. Make sure it's, you know, flexible. So there it is. Beautiful 2 signature book kit, ready to go to its new owner with all of the embellishments and the tutorial that comes with this when you purchase this kind of kit. And it will tell you how to decorate all of these pages. You could do it on your own, or it comes with all of the materials needed to fill the pockets, add pockets, bookmarks, all the things. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. And if you liked this video, if you could like and subscribe, that would be wonderful.